The training areas in Latvia echoed with the crack of tank guns as Danish crews put their Leopard 2A7DK main battle tanks through live-fire drills, turning a routine range day into a clear demonstration of Allied heavy armor that is integrated, mobile, and ready. The event did not occur in isolation. It unfolded inside the NATO-led multinational brigade architecture that Latvia has built up in recent years, where armor, artillery, engineers, and maneuver forces are exercised as a single organism instead of disparate parts. By running live gunnery under that framework, Denmark signaled more than proficiency with steel and optics. It broadcast the reality that the alliance's heavy formations on the Baltic flank train like they intend to fight, and can be committed quickly if deterrence fails. What gives the deployment its real punch is the maturation of Denmark's own Leopard program. Copenhagen's armor fleet has traveled a long road from refurbished 2A4s to upgraded 2A5DKs and, ultimately, to the current 2A7DK standard fielded with the Jutland Dragoon Regiment. Each step was not just about thicker armor or a shinier gun, it was about digitization, networking, and harmonizing national requirements with European industry so the tank is more than a platform, it is a node in a combat system. That approach is visible on the Latvian ranges when crews prosecute targets, when commanders share a common tactical picture, and when sustainers keep vehicles in the fight under compressed timelines. The live-fire sequences are as much a test of the brigade's battle rhythm as they are a test of an individual gunner's aim. At the center of this capability sits the 120mm L55 series smoothbore gun and the advanced fire control suite that wrings accuracy from it. Mated to multi-spectral sensors and a fully digitized battlefield management backbone, the 2A7DK translates target detection into first-round effects at range, even when the engagement window is short and the target set is mixed. The turret and optics are more than precision instruments, they are time machines, shaving seconds from the cycle of spotting, deciding, and firing, seconds that matter when adversaries operate drones, artillery, and anti-tank systems in dense, lethal battle spaces. Combining programmable ammunition with refined stabilization and thermal imaging, Danish crews can deliver controlled violence while on the move and at night, conditions that dominate Baltic weather and winter light. The platform's survivability suite is equally purposeful. Modular composite armor and improved mine protection are married to design features that reduce the tank's thermal and acoustic signatures, complicating the task of hostile spotters and sensor networks. Survivability today is not simply about taking a hit, it is about not being seen or, when seen, not being fixated long enough to be bracketed by indirect fire. That is where the 2A7DK's integration with electronic warfare support, artillery counter-battery sensors, and unmanned aerial reconnaissance inside the brigade construct becomes decisive. The tank benefits from the brigade's eyes and ears, and in turn provides shock and precision at the point where that information dictates action. Mobility remains the third leg of the triad. With a 1,500 horsepower diesel and automotive components proven across Europe's extensive Leopard user base, the 2A7DK sustains high road speeds and practical range for the distances that matter in Latvia. The terrain imposes its own demands, soft ground after rain, forests that channel movement, and infrastructure that must bear heavy vehicles. Training that blends armored maneuver with engineers and logistics is therefore crucial. In live-fire rhythm, recovery assets are rehearsed, bridging is validated, and refuel rearm points are cycled under pressure. These seemingly mundane tasks are the friction points that decide how many tanks are at the line of departure when it counts. Denmark's presence deliberately drags those frictions into the open, turning them from risks into rehearsed routines. Interoperability, often dismissed as a buzzword, has real texture here. A significant share of NATO members field Leopard variants and share practices for ammunition, spares, and recovery. That commonality compresses troubleshooting time and allows mixed national platoons to integrate quickly. It also smooths the flow of consumables and repair parts, which is critical when range days scale into brigade-level, combined arms problem sets. The Danish tanks can draw from Allied stocks and vice versa, reducing the logistical footprint required to keep tempo. Interoperability extends beyond hardware to procedures and data, with common digital formats enabling artillery observers, drone crews, and armor commanders to collaborate without translation layers or manual workarounds. From a capability standpoint, the 2A7DK stands several generations beyond early Leopard configurations and compares favorably with NATO's best, such as the M1A2 and the evolving Challenger 3. It shares core fire control logic and protection philosophies with newer European baselines like the Leopard 2A7V and 2A8, while retaining Danish adaptations that fit national doctrine and sustainment pathways. The point is not to proclaim a single, best, tank. Modern peer systems are more alike than different, but to underline that the Danish fleet is contemporary, connected, and lethal enough to matter on day one. In the Baltic theater, where time-distance factors are unforgiving, that matters more than marginal differences in armor arrays or turret electronics. The strategic messaging of a multinational, brigade-level live fire is hard to miss. It aligns with the alliance's commitments to scale forces in the region from battlegroup presence to brigade structures that can absorb reinforcements and operate under corps-level command. It tells any observer that heavy armor is not stored in warehouses waiting for a political green light, it is idling in the field, exercising in concert with the artillery and infantry that make it decisive. It demonstrates that reinforcement routes are mapped, fuel points are designated, and logistics teams can move spares across borders with the speed of a call on a secure network. And it shows local populations that defense is not theoretical. Crews who have fired live, maneuvered in mud, and fixed broken tracks in the rain offer a level of reassurance a press release cannot. Exercises that have marked Latvia's training calendar, serials like Resolute Warrior or national maneuvers such as Nameges, provide the scaffolding for these improvements. Each iteration adds a layer of realism and complexity, introducing new vignettes, drone strikes that force rapid displacement, electronic warfare that degrades GPS and communications, and time-sensitive target opportunities that punish slow decision-making. For Denmark, the benefit is twofold. Crews gain confidence in their own procedures while absorbing the habits of allies. Staff officers refine the choreography of a brigade fight that spans ground, air, and electromagnetic domains. These are not peripheral gains. In a crisis, the first hours reward units that have already solved the small problems of coordination and sustainment. Beneath the field noise lies an industrial story. The 2A7DK configuration is the product of close collaboration with Krauss-Maffei Wegmann and a broader European Leopard ecosystem that keeps modernization increments flowing without breaking compatibility. Software updates, sensor refreshes, and survivability enhancements can be scheduled and fielded while preserving the common logistics spine that makes multinational operations economical and fast. This is the quiet dividend of standardization, the ability to evolve without isolating one's fleet from partners. What the Latvian live fire ultimately proves is that deterrence by denial is not built on headlines or single platforms. It is constructed from disciplined repetition, crews that shoot until the drills are muscle memory, staff that wargame until timelines compress, logisticians who can feed tanks without a script, and allied units that plug together without friction. Denmark's Leopard 2A7DKs bring the hardware and the human skill to that formula. The brigade architecture provides the scaffolding. Together, they reduce uncertainty about how quickly heavy armor can mass along key approaches to Riga or other critical ground in the Baltic corridor. That reduction in uncertainty is deterrence in practice. If the rhythm continues, the next months will look familiar: armor serials nested inside combined arms problems, more demanding sustainment drills, and deeper integration of sensors that stitch the battlefield into a single map. Each cycle trims seconds from alert to action and turns abstract pledges into concrete readiness. By treating live fire not as spectacle but as an engine for iteration, Denmark and its allies are doing the quiet, unglamorous work that matters most, ensuring that if they are ever called upon, the first salvos are accurate, the first moves are coordinated, and the first day sets conditions for the second.